Well, I was telling some people earlier, my daughter Charlie is on Snapchat. She's 6, you're not allowed to have a Snapchat unless you're like 15. But, you know, I signed off on it. So she pretty much only snaps me, but it's really cute because I get like multiple snaps from her a day, even though she's sitting right beside me. And she has a little lisp and a really raspy voice. And so she'll be like, "What's that, Mama? Send it again." And it kills me, and I love it. She likes all the filters. And,
I have one of one of your kids. The youngest is Lincoln.
Lincoln.
How old is Lincoln now?
4.5.
How old was Lincoln when I met you on the plane?
7 months.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe when he was, I don't know, 2.5 or 3, we were in your office working on an audition. And I look out the window to the backyard, and I see that he's so cute, butt naked.
He's always naked.
Just butt naked, walking out, and I'm like, "There's Lincoln." And he just walks up to the edge of the porch and just starts peeing. Just peeing. Your son. That's Lincoln.
That's Lincoln.
So
he likes to be naked. I remember, so one morning he was in the bath, it was like an early morning, and my older son, who's 12, comes in the bathroom and he's peeing in the toilet, and Lincoln's in the bathroom and he goes, "Wow, Lodge, that's a big penis." And my son was like, "Yep." Wow. A few times my neighbors brought Lincoln home naked, and they had...
I think he belongs to you. Just the neighborhood streaker.
They had just moved into their house, they had no kids. She was pregnant with her first baby. And I'm not kidding you, like 3 times she brought Lincoln home butt naked. And I was like, "I swear, I know what I'm doing. I don't know how he gets out. He's the only one. And he's always naked." Everyone's like, "Once you have 2 kids, you can have blah, blah, blah." No, 4's a lot of kids. It's not. I lost control. Not Lincoln.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. They're in Washington right now with my parents, and I said, "Lincoln, where are you?" He's like, "I'm in George Washington." And I'm Abraham Lincoln. He thinks he was named after President Lincoln. It's really cute. I named him after my car. I'm kidding. I do drive a Lincoln now.
Why haven't you tried out for The Voice yet?
Why haven't I tried out for The Voice?
You would win. We would vote for you.
Oh, that's very sweet. I'll give it some thought. I don't know. I've never felt the desire to go on one of those shows, but The Voice is a great show. I've seen a few episodes. My mom loves it. She would be thrilled if I would go on The Voice. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a cool show. I'll give it some thought. It would be.
You have a good story. They like a good story.
Yeah, I do like a good story. Do I have a good story?
I mean, you got a pregnant wife.
Yeah.
You're famous.
Well, ish. 12 weekends out of the year. As Richard says. Yeah, I'm famous until I go home tomorrow. And I'm at the supermarket, and someone's like looking at me, and I'm like, "Hey," and they're like, "Can you move over?" I'm trying to get something off the shelf.
You know what I get? This is my favorite. I never get recognized. If I do, it's usually this. We went to college together?
We hooked up in college?
I've seen you naked. And I'm usually like, "Nope, I'm on your favorite show that you don't tell me what you watch."
Yeah, I have people look at me sometimes like they might recognize me, but they can't really place it. I rarely have someone actually identify it. It's sweet when it happens, but
It's funny when it happens too, because I did actually just have an AT&T guy come to my house, and he was like, "Oh my god, I love TJ." That was my character in Stargate. And I was like, "Oh, that's so cute." I had like a whole different color hair and everything. We took a picture there. It was cute.
I was getting lunch one day, and this was a couple years ago, or about a year and a half ago, and this guy was just like standing there just staring at me. I was like, oh, whoa, what's going on here? It's like, are you Gil? I was like, wow, yes. He's like, I'm a huge Supernatural fan. Aww. I love Henry. He was so sweet. He was so sweet. And then he followed me to my car. I thought he was going to get in. Oh, was sweet. But yeah, that rarely happens.
That's cute.
Is it your birthday today?
Yep. It's actually my birthday today, not yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. So many ways that were so unexpected, and it just keeps going and going and going, and like it's like permeates through all areas of my life in a weird way. Like I've had a couple jobs recently that came from actors that I met, you know, not even on the show. I mean, you're the only one that I worked with.
Right.
Other than
because there's such a connection with all of us.
like I made this connection, this bond, and I've been asked to do other jobs, you know, by actors that I've met doing the conventions, and it's really cool. And
yeah.
it's just like, I don't know, just so many things that have changed in my life directly because of doing these conventions. So
He met me.
Yes, and the most important was that I met Alaina Huffman. That's number one for sure.
Number one. Hi.
Hey.
My name's Marcy.
Marcy?
My daughter is named Abaddon, and I was wondering if you did any theological research before you did your role, or how did you get your inspiration for the character?
I didn't do a ton. I did a little, but really, Adam Glass is the one who created my character, and so he would sort of give me tidbits of what he wanted for the character, both Abaddon and for Josie. So I know a little bit, but when did you name, how old is your daughter?
She's 3, but we had her name picked out for 10 years.
Did you? Wow, it's a powerful name. Yeah, very cool. Thanks.
So the last episode that you guys did together in season 9 was Mother's Little Helper, which is one of my favorites, and Adam wrote it, of course. But it was also the first episode of Supernatural that Misha directed.
Right.
And I was wondering if you guys could talk about your impressions of him as a director.
Yeah, well, that's so much better. I didn't know Misha before because he was not around when I shot my first episode, so I didn't really know what to expect. I'd seen a handful of episodes and I'd seen him as cast, so I just thought he was going to be a real dick, and he was. He wasn't actually. He is now. But when I worked with him as director, he was actually very, very kind, and he also, like, my first day, I went into the where we were shooting and he came upstairs and I was getting mic'd up or whatever. They were messing with my wardrobe, and he came up and he was so friendly and, you know, thanked me for coming back. And as a director, I thought he was great, you know. It's a big challenge to direct anything really, but especially like an hour of TV is, you gotta move really fast, you know. There's not a lot of like rehearsal or anything like that for the actors, so I thought he handled it really well. And
He also had Jared and Jensen not on his side.
yeah, he had that against him too.
Like up against the wall.
Didn't he like take a pie to the face or something?
Yeah,
one
like
night?
almost broke his nose.
Yeah.
He's never gotten a hug from Jared. Dude's big, right? He's like,
Yeah.
hey, you're gonna pop my ribs. I love you too. So
but
a pie in the
yeah,
face could hurt.
he was great, and he had a lot of help too. Our first episode, Serge, producer, directed, and he had never directed an episode before. Same kind of thing. I just saw how the crew really rallied around both those guys, and they had their back, you know, and they helped them. If Misha was ever in a tough spot or stuck or whatever, which didn't happen that often, but if it did, everybody was right there to help him figure it out, which was really cool.
Yeah, I think that's I've witnessed it on several occasions now in long-running franchises of television, and there's a lot of encouragement from the top for actors, producers, or other, you know, department members to then go on to directing, and it's beautiful. Like, you know, you see the handful of us, and we are like a family. Like, what you see right here is what you get. This is what we are up there. This is what we are at home. And the same thing goes for the workplace. you know, these people are, you know, they've been together for 12 years now, and it's basically the same nucleus that's been together. So you see this family really get behind one person. You almost can't fail. And when you have an opportunity like that, and you're someone like Misha or Rich or Serge, or I've seen it on Robert Carlyle do it on Stargate, or Tom Welling, or any of these people, they take it seriously and they put their work into it, but then they've got this big, you know, beautiful family to sort of keep them lifted.
Thank you.
The one thing that's,
go ahead.
The one thing that's funny though, when actors go on to direct, what I always notice, it's a big job. Like we as actors, we kind of show, I mean, we show up earlier than everyone else, especially people with a lot of hair. We have to go through the works. But you know, directors, it's a full-time job. You're there day in and day out, and then you're there editing, and you're there the week before prepping, and you've got to have all these notes and your script broken down and all of this. And a lot of actors, at one point, we were shooting the stair walk scene. It was a big scene, just from a physicality, you know.
That was a tough one.
Yeah, there's a lot of angles, a lot of coverage that you have to get. And at one point, we were just all standing around between stuff, and Kevin, the AD, was like, so we've got to get this and this and this, and Misha's like, oh, we have so much work to do. I just wanted to talk with my friends.
Yeah, it's a tough job. I've never directed anything, so I have a lot of respect for those guys. Richard Spade Jr. directed an episode last season, right? I've yet to see it. How was it? And Jenny wrote it. Well, apparently he did a pretty good job because I think he's been tapped to direct 2 more.
Yeah. He's kind of special. We like him. We're going to keep him. I just had the great opportunity to work on Kings of Con.
As did I.
Yeah.
I heard you got to work on it.
I played Robbie's wife. Forever, they were telling me, they're like, we have this role for you. And so every email, she didn't have a name yet. So every email, it was like, Alaina, blah, 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 for Rob's too good for him ex-wife. I was like, oh, I love this character. So I shot with them a couple of days, it was last week, and you know, Rob wrote a lot of it, and then they collaborated, and Rich directed, and again, just to see this beautiful collaboration of people, you know, that you care about, that are doing their thing, and you really support it. It's amazing.
It's really funny, you guys. Those of you who supported them in this venture, like, thank you, because it's really, really good.
It's so good.
Like, my wife was like, what are you laughing at? I was reading the scripts, and I was just like laughing hysterically. She's like, okay, calm down. It can't be that funny. I was like, no, this is like the funniest shit I've read in a long time. Like,
and then they're all like improv guys.
Yeah.
So I'm in this room with all improvising, and I'm like, they can all hold it together.
Oh.
Every take, I'm like,
oh my gosh, I was like literally crying in some scenes with Kurt Fuller. I don't know who Kurt Fuller is, but you've seen him in like so many movies and TV shows. But anyway, he was brilliant. And like there would be takes of me just like tears in my eyes because I was laughing so hard at these people. So anyway, I think it's going to be really special. I think it's okay if we talk a little bit about it. I played Chip. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's Kings of Con. It's a scripted show that Rob and Rich wrote, and it's a scripted comedy about the cons.
what we do.
And it's so it's basically based on this.
And it's been picked up by Comic-Con HQ, so it's got in Lionsgate, it's got a proper like, distribution channel.
And I think they're shooting, what, 10 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So I play Chip. I'm the new guy on the circuit, and Chip's
Do you sing?
Chip's like wide-eyed and squeaky clean, and I sing a little bit. Yeah, Chip says like, "Ah, shucks." Things like that. And so we all play kind of like these heightened versions of ourselves in a way. And Rob and Rich are Rob and Rich, and they are absolutely brilliant. And Alaina is Rob's too hot ex-wife.
No, too good for him.
Too good for him. I can't wait to see your scenes. That's gonna be fun.
My question is, how do you guys like get into your character, especially a character?
And go.
He was very passionate.
Okay, I'll do that.
That one, wait.
Whoa! What's happening?
Josie.
Josie.
Didn't he kill me twice? twice? Yeah?
Come off the head.
Oh, you got my, oh yeah, that was fun.
Oh, that was my episode.
Yeah, okay, so
That
that
was
was,
fun.
so that episode that we were in,
Yeah.
I got stabbed in the back, shot in the face, and my head chopped off. That was my audition scene.
That was before we even started shooting.
Yeah, like I was like in my inbox, and I'm like talking to my mom on the phone, and I was about to go to my audition. I was like, this is ridiculous. Who does this? And when it actually, you were in the audition.
I saw you. I didn't know you, but I saw you at the audition.
Yeah, because I went in first, and you were like right after me. I saw you there. Weird. I remember the guy you were talking to. You guys were talking about New York, but anyways, weird.
I remember what you were wearing. Can I say that out loud?
But the scene where Dean, that was a really long scene, and it was supposed to be it was written in the script as the most epic death ever in Supernatural. And I was like, yeah, boy. But they had us on cables, and it was him first, and they the first half of the day was really his coverage, and then they turned around on me, and they had me on the cables, and it got really cumbersome because when you're doing these types of things, it's a stunt. So you've got the stunt coordinator involved, which then calls action. They become the director on the set for safety reasons. You've got, the first aid person there. You've got a bunch of stuff blowing over. You got Mark half dead in a chair. When I almost shot him. Did you guys see that gang reel? I was so fucking scared. He was really like, holy shit! And so then, we were on cables, and they